All right, so hey, we're Florin Square Podcast. Florin Square, no it's not. It's called Square Biz. Square Biz Podcast here at Florin Square, 2251 Florin Road. Now, I'm gonna tell you, just because you need to know, this is my sister, okay? This is my sister. Robin Rose-Hamer could not be here. She had other things to do. And Mercedes Parker, she found a job, so she may not be here anymore. And that'd be very sad, but we're still trying to negotiate. Saying that because she is my sister, and by the way, we're gonna take off our mask. But as a public service announcement, just because somebody's family don't mean it's safe to be around. You gotta know them, you gotta have been around them, you gotta know what their habits are. But too many people are dying, you know that, too many people are dying because they go, oh, it's family. And Thanksgiving is coming up. And I'm very afraid of what that's gonna look like. But we are social distancing, so let's take off our mask and breathe. You know, talk about breathing, outside, all this, the air is bad. Now, the air is very bad. I walked up to my car this morning, it's filled with soot or ash or whatever that is that we're breathing.
I know, bad.
Yeah, and honestly, how close are we? I mean, isn't the nearest fire like in Vacaville something?
That and the other city on the other side of Cache Creek.
Okay, so that's over 50. So they're having
No, that's 80.
80 is Cache Creek? Okay, so Red Walk is 50.
Yes.
Okay, so Cache Creek, okay. All right, so is that like past the town of Lincoln? Do you know Auburn?
No, that's going north.
Okay.
We're talking about going west
Okay.
towards Vacaville.
Oh, okay, but Cache Creek is over there?
Yes.
Okay, I thought, okay, because somebody told me that they're having fires going up towards Reno as well.
They may be.
There may be. I don't know.
I'm not sure.
I don't know. Okay.
I do believe that these fires that we're having, these ashes coming down, looking like gray snowflakes, is really coming from the west in the Vacaville area, that whole area over there and around Cache Creek. I forget the city that is in that area, but and it's also the area of Paradise, or that area.
Yeah. So we're getting all that from all of that.
Yes.
And as bad as that is, I feel very bad for those who are in danger of losing their homes. You know,
a lot of homes have been lost already.
Already?
Yes.
Yeah. And they talk about, you know, what's interesting is that I've been reading online about how to have a disaster kit in your car. Because you might be going to work, when you come back, they don't want you to come because they closed off the highway. Right. And I hear you when you don't have anything. So they said, have a disaster kit in your car.
Yes, I did hear that the other night on the news. I think they said that. In fact, they were advertising, I believe, disaster kits.
I bet they were. Yeah.
Because I was kind of surprised to see some of the things that the children were advertising to get their parents to do this task, to have a checkoff list of a disaster kit. They said it seemed like homework, but it's important.
Yeah. and think about this, right? You know, now, get yours today, a disaster kit, only $299. And if you act now, you get one free. Oh. But you gotta act within the next 30 minutes.
Oh, Lord.
You see? Because everything is marketable, right? Everything marketable. You remember this thing called coronavirus from so long ago?
Oh.
Remember that? You remember? Do you remember how there's time where we had to wear masks and stuff?
New fashion statements.
Oh, wait a minute, yeah. Okay. Say, you just told me we're still doing it. Okay. See, that was, I always tell people, do not get in the way of my delusions. Okay, so that's what you just did. Okay, fine. So, yeah.
C'est la vie.
You know, Big sis. Did I not mention your name? I just call you Big Sis.
No, you did not.
I did not. Well, why don't you introduce yourself?
Well, good day. My name is Shereema Dumas, and I am originally from New York City, born and raised in Brooklyn.
Okay.
Yes, Brooklyn in the house for sure. And I'm a retired teacher. I've been an entrepreneur and still an entrepreneur, just in a different industry. And I am also a woman's advocate.
Yes. Yes, you are. I see Living Out Loud. I see Build Back Better. Why don't you just put down women's advocate if it pleases you? Okay.
I will do that.
I want to be careful, if it pleases you, absolutely. Because that is important. As we talk about Kamala Harris, we are definitely going to talk about what that means not only to America, not only to the community, but to women and women's rights.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And yesterday, on the Democratic Convention, we had a whole lineup of powerful women from all different kinds of backgrounds and all across the country. From the speakers who spoke, including Gabby Gifford, it was heartbreaking. That
was pretty good. I was not expecting her. Gabby Gifford. Do people know who she is?
Gabby Gifford. She's a senator.
Yeah. She's a politician.
Yeah, she's a politician who unfortunately was shot and
during a rally, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
During I think it was a Republican rally. And in any way, the bottom line is, okay, she's gone through a long and hard recovery to gain back her ability for mobility and speech. So to see her up there last night and struggle and spoke as clearly as she did was absolutely amazing.
It was.
That she did that transformation. Everybody spoke about how she still has pain. So, and she did not exude that at all. She stood up there victorious and willing to get her statement out there to say how important it was for us to have a voice, to get out there and vote. So as we talk about Gabby Gifford and the other folk that spoke, famous and non-famous, political and non-political, even had one young lady who spoke a couple of nights ago said she don't even like politics, and she spoke. Okay, yes. so before we do that, you know that there's been some losses here in Sacramento. Oh yes.
That we had two, in fact, three, not in Sacramento, but Representative Congressman Gwen Moore passed away. And she was out of, I believe, Los Angeles. And she was a long time politician and champion of the people. And so she passed away, I believe, today. But locally we had Frank Withrow and Lisa Lacy.
Yes.
So I met Lisa Lacy.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't know her, and she definitely did not know me. I mean, Lisa! She like security, so she don't know me. But what I found out is everywhere I went, and they talked about art or theater or music, her name came up. It's like she had her footprint on every major thing, not everything, but so many major things in Sacramento and beyond. So there's an obituary that I'm wondering if you could share with me and the people listening that we're talking about the great Lisa Lacy.
Long-time Sacramento-based theater maker, Lisa, I don't know how to pronounce her middle name, Lacy, had a signature phrase, living out loud. Living out loud, that to me sounds very significant for today's atmosphere, which identified her productive life and her work. Always bright, vibrant, positive, Lacy, who was the founder and executive artistic director of the Images Theater Company. She came of age at the Black Arts Movement of the 1970s.
Wow.
Now
Okay.
she was also schooled. She lived for a while in Chicago in 1967.
Mm-hmm.
But when she was 12, but she attended the John F. Kennedy High School and then went to Sacramento State.
Mm-hmm.
She also studied at the New York City Dance Theater of Harlem and
Really?
the Richard Allen Center of. Yes, we know that because we're from New York City.
Mm-hmm. So we know how prestigious that is. You're like, what?
Yeah,
Right?
that's a huge, big deal.
Uh-huh.
Very huge that she made it.
Don't use the word huge. Don't, okay. You know, I think we might have to strike that word from
He
the
doesn't
dictionary.
even say that word.
We may have to strike
They
it.
use the word with a Y.
Okay.
Who says that?
I don't know.
Anyway.
I don't know. We might have to strike it.
It was a big deal.
But yeah, it was a big deal. So yeah, anything else?
Well, that was
Okay.
pretty much the highlights. And like I said,
Yeah.
it said that her philosophy was, in fact, to live life to its fullest.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think that's a very, very positive, message for us all.
Mm-hmm.
To not be discouraged. Okay, just like President Obama spoke last night in the DNC, he was saying we must not give up. Just like John Lewis says, we must not give up. If people like John Lewis and all of those who fought before us, okay, struggled and they kept going on, kept believing that there was hope, we must not give up hope and not go out to vote.
Yeah.
I do see some things that Lacey had more than 40 acting credits in production across the country, including New York, Oakland, Kamala Harris, all right, San Francisco, again, Kamala Harris, that's her territory, and Sacramento.
Yes.
So, then also the fact that she also directed Wilson's Joe Turner's Come and Gone
Mm-hmm.
at the Sacramento City College.
I think that's August Wilson, I think, who's very, very famous, very, very, very popular among the art world, you know? Mm-hmm.
So many different impacts, okay, at Images Theater Company, which she founded in 2003. Wow, that's pretty impressive.
And
She
for young people, right?
and co-wrote
Yeah.
and directed 13 original plays.
That's why. See, that's
For
why.
the company, including We Come From Greatness, Wings of Freedom.
Not written by me.
No.
No? Okay, fine. Okay.
Evangelize Everyday People,
Uh-huh.
a musical review, and The Homecoming, a Christmas story. And in 2009, Lacey received the Ellie Award for Best Original Script
Uh-huh.
for her play Solomon's Storefront.
All right. All
And she
right.
also founded an international branch of the Images in Ghana.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty impressive, okay? Through a partnership with the Street Mic Music.
So it is safe to say that Sacramento, California, and the world has lost a major
Icon, I would say.
icon. Yeah.
I would say.
All right,
Okay,
yeah.
because Lacey, she said that she also taught to hundreds of students through her work with the Twin Rivers Unified School District.
Oh, that's right there, Del Paso area.
Yeah.
All right, all right.
So that's one
Oh, cool, cool.
very important contribution
So now,
locally.
imagine losing Lisa Lacey. I don't know which one came first, but Frank Withrow, who's been sick for a very, very long time, and Frank, I did know. I knew him well. All right. And I remember when I first heard about Frank, I believe he was the vice principal of McClatchy, and I was teaching some workshops over there at McClatchy. I don't know if it was during his time or had he left, but I swear there wasn't a statue in front of McClatchy of him, but there should have been. Because everybody talked about Frank Withrow, Frank Withrow, Frank Withrow. You know what I mean? He was kind of guy, just somebody who cared about you, somebody who had a sense of humor, and then of course his rapping, right? And I gotta apologize because I meant to bring up some of his rapping, okay? And maybe I can, I don't know. And even if I did, I wouldn't be able to do it in his style, you know what I mean? In his style, no. I
Well, maybe they can
know?
actually take around the school.
Frank Withrow rapping.
Do a square or a corner or name a
Frank Withrow rapping.
Name something after him.
Yeah.
To honor him, that would be nice.
And the fact, before he passed, and this is so cool, before he passed, the community wanted to do something like a eulogy, but having him alive.
Right.
And so they did a drive-through.
A living tribute.
Right, a living tribute. And so they did a drive-through for him and his wife, Karen Massey, formerly of Channel 10 News, which, you know how communities have super couples? He was one of several super couples. Cassandra and Rick Jennings is a super couple, right? There's about, I can't think of it right now, but yeah, there's some super couples. Well, Frank Withrow and Karen Massey were definitely that. But I mean, he also was chair of the United Black Student Union of California Advisory Board. The Kings and Queens Rise. Bill Black, Samuel Keynes, the Center at Sierra Health, the Black Child Legacy Campaign, all of these folk were touched by his power, by his love, by his energy. And again, I'll say it again and again, every time you went to a community event, there you see Frank on stage and you knew, all right, Frank, let's go, let's hear it. And he would do this thing, he'd do it with a smile, with a bounce, everybody be like, you know what I mean? You know?
That's
nice. You know? And the thing that stays in my mind, for everybody who knows him, and they go, and stay in school, stay in school, stay in school. And we be like, yeah. So Frank will definitely be missed. How old was he? I think he was, how old was he? I could have sworn he was 81, but I don't want to age him if he's not. Let's just say this. No, 74. But the reason why I said 81 is that it feels like he gave us 81 years of love and energy.
Well seasoned.
Did I clean that up?
Well seasoned.
Okay,
and had a lot of wisdom.
He did. Well seasoned, a lot of wisdom. Okay. Sound like a turkey. Okay. I must be. Okay, look, we're getting closer to Thanksgiving. Okay, you know what I mean?
Really?
Yes.
We haven't even gotten to September.
You know something? I want 2020 to be over, okay? I want it to be over.
No, I just want coronavirus to be over.
I'm tired of 2020. What are we going to say in the almanac? Years ago, 2020? Nothing happened, okay? We just shut everything down, okay?
No, that's why all the more reason, okay, because of global warming, all of this stuff that's going on, okay, today, is why we have to give our voice and what? Vote!
We gotta vote. And we are Square Biz Podcast at Florin Square at 2251 Florin Road, Florin Square. Have you been here before?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so then you know that it has retail, ethnic art and jewelry, hair care, general goods, computers, menswear, ladieswear, food and pastry, books, thrift, herbs, spices, crystal, healing products, all sorts of wonderful things. Then it has personal services like a barber shop, an esthetician, which I had an esthetician, they had to learn how to say that, nails and pedicures, all right? It got professional services like taxes and legal and immigration and bookkeeping and music and design. What? Then it has nonprofit, education, family and child services, special needs, homelessness, political. And then it has, coming soon, is the wellness center. You know that we're gonna have a wellness center?
I think that is such an excellent idea. We need good service for our people of color.
Yes.
It's very, very important. That is something that's so lacking, especially in this pandemic. When we've seen the disparities, the shortcomings that are prevalent for us. I mean, we don't have what we really need. So to have an entity coming in this neighborhood, in this community, is phenomenal. Which is
a good word. We want to be phenomenal. And speaking about phenomenal, we are expanding our phenomenal Sojourner Truth Art Museum.
Oh, that's one of my favorite things here.
Okay.
I love the museum.
So twice, 3 times the size. So it's going to be fabulous. We're hoping to have the grand opening February of next year for Black History Month, right?
Oh,
so yeah,
that would be really nice.
It's going to be epic, you know. So a lot of reasons to come to Florin Square. Oh, and did I tell you that the Second Observer, one of America's best-owned African-American newspapers, is sold at Florin Square as well. Wonderful. So we try to be there for the community. I don't know if you know, but well, you do know because you saw our networking table. We have a networking table for our businesses, and we have a networking table for everybody else. So people feel very, very happy to bring things like the Million Father March, you know, the Million Father March, which is it starts the first day of school, and it's distance learning, and put on by the Black Parallel School Board, which with Faye Kennedy and Dr. David Colvin, you know. So this is, you know, people complain about remote learning and online learning, but you can complain about it or you can make it work. And so what we know is that people always fall behind in terms of education. And we're not going to allow the fact that we're doing remote to be a reason for that to continue. And so the Black Parallel School Board is very, very much active in making sure that our kids
will they be addressing some of the needs that people have, the shortcomings of computers and Wi-Fi?
Well, you know,
because I know that has been a very big problem regarding a lot of people who just don't have the ways and means to be able to say, I have a computer. And I know some schools have been distributing where they have them available computers. And I have seen some areas where some school districts where they have a bus that sits in a given area that allows people to access the Wi-Fi.
Yes, yes.
But I think we probably need more of that available. I don't think that there's enough of that. And I do think that the Democratic Convention shows us how we can move up into this new era, okay, of virtuality and make it work.
See, and I hear that you really want to talk about this convention, but we ain't there yet. So just hold your horses. Hold your horses. We're not there yet. We got to slide into it. You know, one of our tenets is all of us or none. All of us or none. And that's a very interesting group. They deal with advocacy for the ex-offender.
Okay.
And so we're going to do a podcast on the rights of ex-offenders and offenders to vote.
Yes.
So that's going to happen soon. Because if you think about it, and this, you know, insidious is a good word. Think about this, right? Because you are an offender or an ex-offender, a lot of times it automatically takes away your right to vote, automatically, right? Only in certain states, when you are out, when you've done your time, it automatically reinstates. Only in certain states, a lot of times you have to apply and go through hoops to get your voting rights back. Only in a minute amount of states do they actually allow offenders who are actually incarcerated to vote. Now, if I wanted to, I'm not a conspiracist, but if I wanted to, I could say that there's two people, white and black, they're both of voting age, and they do a crime, pretty much the same crime. One, the white person gets, now Johnny, don't do it again or we're gonna tell your mom. And here's the other one, clack, clack, 10 years. Now all of a sudden, is he not only taken away by his family, but now for 10 years, his right to vote has been usurped.
Yes.
Now, if I do that again and again and again, does that not affect the politics of America, the fabric of America?
The new slave trade.
Absolutely. And this is why it's so important that we talk about that.
Absolutely.
You know?
And Angela Davis was working on that behalf as well. Years ago, she spoke at Davis University regarding rehabilitation programs, okay, and things like what you just spoke on.
Yes,
because it is very important.
Yes. And
even President Obama talked about it too.
What also is very important is people understand what their current rights to vote and how to vote. Now, I know that there's a lot of stories about mail-in ballots, all right, and where to go in to cast your vote if you want to do it in person, right? So I know that there's this going out which gives you a whole shebang on how to get your vote cast so that it counts, right? So that's very, very important. Also, didn't you say that during the convention you could text a number and that gives you the whole, they say the plan?
You can text 30330 to vote. The text vote.
Can you write that down, please?
Okay, vote.
Yeah. So in fact, it says vote right there. I would just put the number under it. So we could do that. So 30330. Are you sure?
Yes.
Because we don't want to tax the Donald Trump campaign. That would not be good.
No.
Okay.
But you text the word vote. Okay, to 30330.
Okay.
And it will give you an outline. But also here in Sacramento, in the Sacramento area, I contacted the voters registrations office right here down the street on 65th Street. And I called them direct. I didn't want to go on the website and get misinformation. I wanted to speak directly to a person there.
Right.
And I asked them two things. I asked them, one, can I come in and pick up my mail-in vote ballot? And they said, yes, I can pick it up. And I asked them, can we return it back there? They said, yes, you can. So if you feel odd about putting your thing in the mail or not trusting whether you're going to get it on time, they said they start distributing out mail-in votes, and anytime after that, October, I think it's the 5th, you can either go directly there or wait for your mail-in ballot to be mailed to you. If you don't get it within the time period that you hope to get it in, then you go directly to them, and you can find out wherever your local office is. Because all throughout the Sacramento area, there are various different locations around the city. So, but here, right here is this Sacramento City here, right down the street on 65th Street. Voters registration, says yes, you can come in and pick it up. Okay, good. And so I know that next week, I believe, they're gonna have the Republican convention. That's gonna be fun. I'm gonna watch it because it's always fun to listen to the other side. I'm gonna watch it. I want to hear in fact, not only do I want to hear what they say, I want to hear how they do it. You know, like are they gonna have the 6,000 unmasked people again? Yeah, like in Tulsa. Okay, like in Tulsa, yes.
And you know something? I never wish bad on people.
No.
I don't do it. I don't do it. I don't do it, right? 6,000 unmasked people could be 6,000 less votes. Could be, you know? But this week, including today, mind you, and thank you very much for being here because Joe Biden did his acceptance speech today. We can't watch it because we're here.
I will be watching it later. It's being recorded.
We'll do that. Yes. But
I record it all.
But Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, it was the Democratic convention. I watched all of Monday, all of Tuesday, all of Wednesday, right? Before we get to the meat of it, might I say, didn't the host look fabulous? Started with Ava Longoria, then Tracy Ellis Ross, and my girl Kerry Washington.
Yes.
I mean, they look absolutely divine, do they not?
I say, including the panelists from MSNBC that were there, you know, all the women, all across the board, the hosts of the various different hosts daily, okay, to the mediators and the speakers. Oh my God.
The men looked okay too.
Tears.
The men were okay too.
Power to the women. And women's suffrage, get out of here. 100 years of women finally having a voice.
Yes.
Okay, so
yes.
It was a momentous occasion all across the board.
So tell us, brother, because I see that you are excited.
Yes.
You know? Now, before this, Hillary was the candidate, right, for president. And before Hillary, you had the lady from Alaska. What's her name?
I don't know.
Okay, but
I know who
she
you're
was
talking about,
going for the vice president, right?
Sarah Palin.
Sarah Palin. Who said that? Okay, Sarah Palin. And then there was also Geraldine Ferraro. I don't know if you remember her.
Yes.
So there's been others, but let's not forget Shirley Chisholm.
Oh, absolutely. I knew her
Okay,
well.
you okay?
She lived not too far from the elementary school you went to.
Okay, all
I
right.
forgot that, in Ocean Hill, Brownsville.
Okay, yeah, PS 95, I think.
What I think it was.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
So-
She lived on Rockaway Boulevard.
So
Oh,
this
Avenue,
is
whatever.
just a progression of greatness. And what I
Yes.
love about Sarah Palin is even though we gave her grief, and rightfully so, what I love about Sarah Palin is that she sent the most beautiful letter of support to Kamala Harris.
Yes.
I don't know if you
Yes.
read it.
Not in read it, but I heard about it.
I read it. It was absolutely, it crossed party lines, and it developed sisterhood.
Yes.
And I said, you go, Sarah, you go. That was cool.
That's what I'm
kudos.
talking about, the women
You
power.
know?
That was it.
Yes.
They said we have had a woman in power years ago, we wouldn't be in the pickle we're in now.
Okay.
Just saying.
You are just saying that. I'm not going to disagree. My mama, we were raised by
A powerful woman. And
Right,
Kamala,
you know.
What did Kamala say about her mother, okay, and how she taught her not to just take the no for an answer, or you know that she can't do something, or somebody's going to tell you something or other, whatever. What did you do about it? She would say. What did you do about it? Don't come whining about it here. What did you do about it? And what are you going to do about it?
So now, Kamala comes from a Indian mother and a
Jamaican.
Was she from Jamaica?
Yes,
Jamaican father. They were both immigrants
Yes.
who I believe found each other in college.
No.
Not in college?
No,
I
yes,
think
it was
they
in
were in
college,
college
but
and
they
they
were
protesting,
protesting.
right,
They were
right,
protesters for rights.
Now, the interesting thing, though, I find interesting is that they split when Kamala was 5 years old,
Yeah.
which means I'm assuming that Kamala grew up in an Indian household.
Yes.
Indian household, where she learned that culture.
Yes,
she's part of that culture, right?
Yeah, that's what she said.
And then she grew up and she went to HBCU.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so she is absolutely
she's an AKA sister.
She's definitely a cross section of culture.
Yes.
And that makes it a very beautiful thing. So let's talk about the Democratic convention. Let's talk about day one, right? So if I believe Michelle Obama was the last speaker, but leading up to Michelle Obama, what did you think about the format? In normal conventions, you stand on the stage, right, to a thunderous amount of people. Okay,
silly, ridiculous hats and stupid signs,
everything, right? And it's really something else, right? But if you're a speaker, you feed on that. As a speaker, you feed on that.
Yeah.
And now it's quieter. It's quieter. It's a lot more lonely. All right? You're speaking to people, but they're not there. But I think that they showed a lot more of America. And that I thought was beautiful, man. I mean, all of the snapshots and all of the little Zoomites, Zoom whatever, right? Mm-hmm. It really, really, really brought home, I think, what this campaign is all about. Build Back Better. And I think each of their segments showed that.
Absolutely. Absolutely, because we had our own kind of like watch party, girlfriend and Michigan, like the neighbors, okay, another friend over here, and we were just texting back and forth, and we're crying, oh my God, this is so emotional, this is so great, we never seen anything like this before, and even though, like you said, they did not have that audience for that immediate feedback, mm-hmm. the moments that they did have, that feedback on the screen or whatever. Yeah. They stood there looking by it, he stood there and she stood there and smiled, looking all the sea of faces. But the most beautiful thing, I think, was, like you said, being able to see across the country and mm-hmm. the different territories of this country. It was amazing. There was even a territory that I was not familiar with at all. I was saying, what is that? What is that?
Yes. Well, 57 states and territories. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, I knew about Puerto Rico. I knew about Virgin Islands, but I didn't. I knew about Guam, mm-hmm. but I didn't. There was another one in the South Pacific that I didn't know what that was. I was like, huh? What? Mm-hmm. So to see the people from those areas, the landscape of those areas, that to me was just energizing and so informative and it was just exciting. So
day one of the speakers that I was excited to listen to, and I did, was John Kasich, who is a Republican.
I know, wasn't that something?
But what I love is that before they had him speak, they showed other Republicans like Meg Whitman, mm-hmm. Saying no, we are crossing party line because it makes sense to us. Mm-hmm. It makes sense to us, And John, I think, gave a very good answer to why would he do that. Now he's never been. In fact, he is a never Trumper, and I respect John so much. I do. And the reason why is even though he's Republican, and I may not agree with all of his values or political things that he wants to do, right? But when he got on the campaign trail and Trump treated everyone so poorly, it was disgusting watching the debates. It was just awful, right? And he treated Marco Rubio and Jeb Bush mm-hmm. and Ted Cruz.
I know. Talked about them like dogs. Wives and stuff. Oh,
and Rubio and Cruz are now licking his feet. Jeb Bush, not so much. But Kasich, never. Yeah. Kasich, from day one till now, has been anti-Trump. Mm-hmm. Anti-Trump. And the things that he said then, the things that he says now, I enjoyed.
Yes.
So I thought that was good.
Yeah.
But let's talk about Michelle Obama, which we all came to see. On day one, they ended with Michelle. We knew that something great was going to happen. Did she disappoint?
Oh, absolutely not. She stayed with her theory of when they go low, we go high. And she did that.
Well,
she hit them with very meticulous words. Like she says, I recognize that what?
Read that.
I said, so what do we do now? What's our strategy? Over the past 4 years, a lot of people have asked me, when others are going so low, does going high still really work? My answer, going high is the only thing that works, because when we go low, when we use those same tactics of degrading and dehumanizing others, we just become part of the ugly noise that's drowning out everything else. We degrade ourselves. We degrade the very causes for which we fight.
Yes. So, and that is what you were saying.
Yes.
Resonated with you. And yeah, of course, it was absolutely powerful. Then when she said, so let me be as honest and clear as I possibly can. Donald Trump is the wrong president for our country. He has had more than enough time to prove that he can do the job.
Yes.
But he is clearly in over his head. He cannot meet this moment. He simply cannot be who we need him to be for us. It is what it is.
She used his own words against him.
Yes. Because if you recall, he used that when they were talking about how many people died
Yes,
from
it
coronavirus.
is what it is.
And he had no answer. So
it is what it is.
Yeah, that was his answer. Right?
That was his answer. It is what it is.
That was his answer.
Totally dismissive.
Read this one because I mean, I love that one.
So if you take one thing from my words tonight, it is this. If you think things cannot possibly get worse, trust me, they can. And they will. If we don't make a change in this election, if we have any hope of ending this chaos, we have got to vote for Joe Biden like our lives depend on it.
Do you think that she was exaggerating when she said that, or is that real?
That's absolutely real.
Yeah.
Absolutely real. And who reiterated that was Hillary Clinton. When she said, if you think that he can't come up and have another trick, okay, we all have to get out there and vote.
Yes.
Okay, because look what happened
to me. That's right. You know, I won by 3,000
popular vote.
Popular vote, and still lost.
3 million.
3 million, yes, 3 million, not 3,000, by 3 million, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And still lost. And that's
Yes.
why she said it's so important to get out there and vote. We cannot sit back and be complicit this time and wait and see.
Well, you know, being complicit, it says in one, if you think your vote doesn't count, in one of the states that determine the outcome, the winning margin averaged out to just 2 votes per precinct. This is what Michelle Obama said. 2 votes. And we've been all living with the consequences. If you think your vote doesn't count, 2 votes per precinct. Okay?
That was powerful.
Yes.
That was an eye-opener for
yes.
sure.
You know? And then, I love this one. Because whenever we look to the White House for some leadership or consolation or any semblance of steadiness, what we get instead is chaos, division, and a total and utter lack of empathy.
Well, his niece, who wrote the book, Nancy Trump, says that he's incapable of it. Mary. Mary Trump.
Right. Incapable of it.
Incapable of it. And outlined in her book, which I have, okay, and it's powerful. outlines clearly how he became the way he is because in that family, in the Trump family, they were taught you win or you just will be dead.
Right.
So they do anything by any means necessary to look or appear to have won. Even to what's going on now with Bannon, being arrested.
Oh, I know, right?
Okay.
I know. And this was one of his best.
His campaign
right.
was,
right.
we're going to build the wall, we're going to make Mexico, we're going to make pay for it, Mexico's going to pay for it.
So what Trump's going to say when they ask him about Bannon, he'll probably say, well.
We know he lied.
No, he'll say, well, I knew him, but we didn't hang out much. He'll say, he'll say that. Okay, I'm gonna let you have the last word of Michelle, and then we're gonna move on.
Okay.
But I think when you read that, do you remember her saying that?
I'm sure. I am one of a handful of people living today who have seen firsthand the immense weight and awesome power of the presidency. And let me once again tell you this, the job is hard. It requires clear-headed judgment, a mastery of complex and competing issues, a devotion to facts and history, a moral compass, and an ability to listen, and an abiding belief that each of the 330 million lives in this country has meaning and worth. A president's words have the power to move markets. They can start wars or broker peace. They can summon our better angels or awaken our worst instincts.
Yeah.
You simply cannot fake your way through this job.
Yeah. See? So, we're going to talk about other speeches, but honestly, I was done. I was done. I'm like, stamp it,
done.
mail it, okay.
Ryan,
Put it in the bank, okay. It was just that powerful.
Yeah, everybody was saying, is Barack going to be out, but I'll do her.
Right. He did okay.
He did.
Now,
he came from a totally different angle, and everybody was surprised. He says he has never spoken in the manner which he did.
We're going to get to his speech, but I got to let you know, Trump was very upset when the Fox News pundits, reporters were gushing over Michelle's speech. Okay, because he's like, wait a minute, people. You belong to me.
He was tweeting in all caps.
Well, that was during Barack's, yeah. So then I believe the second day, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and she is one of the darlings of Congress. And honestly, I have a healthy respect for her, and I wanted to hear what she was saying. I was one of those who was very upset to learn that she was only going to speak for a minute in a pre-recorded something, right?
Right.
But at the same time, she was there. And she was the only one of the squad who was.
Yes.
So far. I don't know if they spoke tonight, but so far, no. Right? On AOC. Now, people were a little upset because she said that she goes, in a time when millions of people in the United States are looking for deep, systemic solutions to a crisis of mass evictions, unemployment, and lack of health care, and Espiritu del Puebla, and out of a love for all people, I hereby second the nomination of Senator Bernard Sanders of Vermont for President of the United States of America. People are like, well, wait a minute. I thought this is a celebration of Joe Biden. But as she explained later, it was something that had to be done. It's part of the process of electing Joe Biden, is that there had to be a second person so that they could do that voting tally thing, right? So someone had to, and we know that AOC was a fan of Bernard Sanders.
Yes.
However, she tweeted afterwards when she heard that people were a little upset. She goes, no, I was just doing that for the
procedure.
For
It was the
procedure.
procedures.
And then she goes, but I am full Team Biden. Go Biden, let's win in November. So she's on board.
Yes.
She's on board. So I'm looking forward to seeing how far AOC can go. I'm not in love with all of the things that she says, but I respect her right to say it. You know? So, how about you? You a fan?
I respect her and all of the new members to Congress. I feel very proud of the fact that they have accomplished and got to where they are, and I think that they are a very needed representation within the House.
Yes, without a doubt. So, Barack spoke.
Yes.
Again, one of the moments that we all were waiting for. Michelle, and that Michelle was like, oh, okay, Barack, let's see what you do now. Because, you know. And he said, the one constitutional office elected by all the people is the presidency. So at a minimum, we should expect a president to feel a sense of responsibility for the safety and welfare of all 330 million of us, regardless of what we look like, how we worship, who we love, how much money we have, or who we voted for. But we should also expect a president to be the custodian of this democracy. We should expect that regardless of ego, ambition, or political beliefs, the president will preserve, protect, and defend the freedoms and ideals that so many Americans marched for, and went to jail for, fought for, and died for. So this is him talking, right? And although he did not say him by name, we all knew.
Exactly.
We all knew that who we have in office is not this person. Is not this person. And we deserve this person. For close to 4 years now, he's shown no interest in putting in the work. No interest in finding common ground. No interest in using the awesome power of his office to help anyone but himself and his friends. No interest in treating the presidency as anything but one more reality show that he can use to get the attention he craves. Donald Trump hasn't grown into the job because he can't.
Exactly.
Whoa! See, and I love that they're not saying he's bad, he's evil. No, they're just saying he's just not talented enough. He just doesn't have it inside him.
It has nothing to do with talent whatsoever. It has to do with, like you said, he can't. He does not have the capability, okay, or the humanity, okay, the conscience, or the soul, what they say.
The soul, yes.
Voting for the soul of America. He
Yes.
does not have it.
So, he says, he understands why a young person might look at politics right now, the circus of it all, the meanness and the lies and the crazy conspiracy theories that think, what's the point? Well, here's the point. This president and those in power, those who benefit from keeping things the way they are, they're counting on your cynicism. So in 2016, we didn't vote for Hillary Clinton. Many people did not vote for Hillary Clinton because, oh, we're not sure what kind of president she's going to be. We're not sure about this. We're not sure about that. I myself did not vote for Hillary Clinton. I voted against Donald Trump. And that's me. I have never been a huge fan of Hillary Clinton myself. I haven't. But she was the alternative to him. And I did not want him. And I can see Joe Biden, the things that he says sometimes you gotta scratch your head, like what the heck, you know? How he comes across sometimes, you're wondering, he can do the job, yes, but for how long can he do the job? Which is why we were looking for a strong vice president. But I would vote for a monkey before I vote for Donald Trump. I would. I'm like, bring in the monkey, okay? And I'm not comparing Joe Biden to a monkey. I'm just saying, I would vote for a monkey. Give the monkey a name. Get a fucking name. Hello for him. Huh?
Bennett.
No. Not that monkey. Not that monkey. So, read this. Tell me what you think.
Tonight, I am asking you to believe in Joe and Kamala's ability to lead this country out of these dark times and build it back better. But here's the thing. No single American can fix this country alone. Not even a president. Democracy was never meant to be transactional. You give me your vote, I make everything better. It requires an active and informed citizenry. So I am also asking you to believe in your own ability, to embrace your own responsibility as citizens, to make sure that the basic tenets of our democracy endure.
Yeah. So, what do you think about that?
Absolutely correct. We do all have a responsibility if we want to be able to maintain, a democracy and not have to think about, apartheid in South Africa or what is happening, all the contention that's going on, Belarus, and all these other countries that are having these uprisals and whatnot, peoples, and fighting for and or against democracy. We once upon a time were the ones that everybody looked to as a model.
Yes.
Suddenly, all of a sudden, because of somebody decides that they want to, like the leaders of North Korea and Russia, that they like their grand statures and their authoritarian, gestures and power, and want to say, I'm not leaving this White House. And if this says that the vote is not, where I win, then that means they cheated.
And that's very interesting that you say, because this is something that, there's two things. One is this, it says, to the young people, and I really want to talk to the young people, but to the young people who led us this summer, telling us we need to be better. In so many ways, you are this country's dream fulfilled. Earlier generations had to be persuaded that everyone has equal worth. For you, it's a given, a conviction. And what I want you to know is that for all its messiness and frustrations, your system of self-government can be harnessed to help you realize those convictions. You can give our democracy new meaning. You can take it to a better place. You're the missing ingredient, the ones who will decide whether or not America becomes a country that fully lives up to its creed. And Shereema, I want you to read this, because if the young people do not get out, if the people who believe in democracy and fair play, who believe that the police should be held accountable, if they do not get out and vote, read this book right here.
This administration has shown it will tear our democracy down if that's what it takes to win. So we have to get busy building it up by pouring all our effort into these 76 days, now 75 it is. And by voting like never before for Joe and Kamala. And candidates up and down the ticket, because we have to take back the Senate.
Take back that too, yes.
And get rid of McConnell.
Yep, absolutely.
All right? So that we leave no doubt about what this country we love stands for today.
No doubt.
And for all our days to come. Stay safe. God bless. Absolutely, because we have to remember the legacy. of John Lewis. We have to remember the legacy of Elijah Cummings. We have to remember the legacies of Martin Luther King Jr. and all of those that passed, and the other gentleman that died at the same time as John Lewis.
C.T. Vivian.
C.T. Vivian.
Right.
All right? And the fact that George Floyd, okay, the fact that his death started a movement. It wasn't just George Floyd. All right?
Breonna Taylor, about Arbery, and all the others.
So many others. We found out with that movement a whole list of people who were gunned down and killed unnecessarily so. And there has been no real justice for it. So with these young people, okay, like the little girl said, George Floyd's daughter says, my daddy has changed the world, going to change the world. And he has, because the movement has moved across not only across the country, but across to other countries.
They got George Floyd in Japan. Okay.
Okay. It has changed the way, various different businesses are deciding